What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin It podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Still trying to get used to this intro.
All right. So, if you guys were aware, hopefully you watched our live reactions. Thankfully, WB decided not to be cruel and release the claim that they had. So it's back.
It's a nice way to put it.
I'm trying to be diplomatic.
Okay.
Because the other stuff I could say. Let's just leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that. Because if you're trying to be diplomatic, then
yeah,
I got a whole bunch of words to say because it's so stupid.
Yeah, but I don't ever want to hear anybody complain about no other companies and pretend like no other company does that. Every company does what they do. Warner Brothers went at anybody who did a live reaction apparently because they didn't like the fact that the Matrix, which was 4 minutes, because I went back and looked, and on top of that, we talked over the entire thing, so you didn't hear it when we did it. But that being said, they released the claim, so it is available for everybody to see. I also put it up on Anchor, so you can see it on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, and whatever else you want. You hear your audio podcast from. So there's that. Andre, I think you froze.
I about to say, otherwise he's doing a hell of a mannequin challenge.
Yeah, he's doing a hell of a mannequin challenge right now. All right, yeah.
I swear his computer does not like him.
For real, dude.
Jesus.
So he had to drop out. So he'll probably jump back in a little bit. So what we're talking about today for the majority, hopefully, of the podcast is the Game Awards 2021 Fallout. So, elephant in the room time. It was overhyped. Like, he tried to overhype it. And I was like, bro.
From a business standpoint, I understand. Yeah. You got to get people to show up. You got to get them to show up.
You have to, yeah. I think that I get what he's trying to do, but I don't like the constant patting themselves on the back, and I can't stand that mess because like we don't see it any other time of the year.
No, not at all.
So why do I need to see that now? And it's like you only do it just so you can say, look at what we did, look at what we did.
Right.
And I'm like, bruh, at no other point in the year did you say anything about, especially black men, black content creators. You ain't say nothing about them all year.
That's why I tell people, be very mindful of the word pandering.
Yeah, because
it'll show up when it needs to.
Yeah, it does. So that was one of the things I don't like that stuff. I'm like, I just don't like that stuff.
Right.
I just don't. Because
like, I think what Brian said it best, your boy Altano, he was like, the way that Jeff did it was kind of like saying, hey, we can't stand arsonists, but hey, let's go check and see how they set things on fire. Is pretty much what they did.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I mean, I don't even. Yo, you good?
There you go.
You didn't want me to talk.
Apparently. But I was just talking about the pandering that was going on at the Game Awards. I don't like that. I don't think you need to do that. I understand the whole thing when he started off his opening monologue about harassment and all that. I understand why I understand why he did that, because he could not kick Activision off of the board. And I will say this: I think it's funny that he kind of came out on Twitter and tried to be like, "I run this," puffing his chest out. And I'm like, bro, you need money. You're not no billionaire, bro. You need money.
Nah.
So I just think it's hilarious because I'm like, I saw right through that bluster. Right. But I'm like, I understand from a standpoint, because once again, and I think Andre, you said it best on Twitter, like his hands was tied.
Yeah. Nothing you can do.
Yeah. I mean,
it was fully tied.
Yeah, like there's not much you can do when you because he needs He needs this, especially the big dogs of gaming, the big developers. He needs their help, which is going to roll into my first thing I really want to talk about. Was it just me, or did Nintendo and Sony just not care this year?
To me, I would say that's more Nintendo than Sony. Because
both of them wasn't really there.
I wouldn't expect Sony to be there anyway. Because honestly, when you look at Sony, what are they going to show?
Yeah, good point.
Because honestly, I think the one thing they are running with is Forspoken, and that's not even exclusive like that. So
not really. But I mean, 2 sizzle reels from Nintendo, and that's it.
Somebody said it best on Twitter today. Like, I don't blame them, because I think Rob said it too. Like, why would I show up to this Game Awards when they're getting back in the swing of directs, and they literally have the forefront right now. No matter how you look at things as far as generations or who you like, Nintendo's on top right now.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought it was funny because like they usually do something, but I just thought the 2 sizzle reels was just like it was just weird to see.
Yeah, Nintendo was like, weird. We got what we need. We don't need you right now.
We're going to give you a goodwill offering, and then we're out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I still think that was hilarious. Overall, I thought the show was just okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it either. I don't get mad about it. Like, people be getting pissed off mad. I'm like
highly upset. I'm like disgusted.
Like, this is the same thing that happens every year.
That's how I know people are crazy, because they expect something different. To me, like, I just don't give a damn. So it's one of those things to where it's something enjoyable for all of us to kind of be in one area and just watch games. Honestly, it gives you more news than it doesn't. We got a chance to see Hellblade, which we hadn't seen in years at this point, and actual gameplay from what it looks like. What was it? The Death game that we saw. I mean, that was like a great game with the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, with the Grim Reaper,
yeah, I mean, I saw games that I like, and like we always talk about when we watch these presentations. If I can walk away with at least 3 games that I like, I don't care. As far as the award things, I'm gonna laugh at that anyway. I mean, that's more of a in-house thing that you probably have set up for bonuses. They don't affect me. A game can be rated 65 and I like it. I don't care.
The funny thing about it, I think, like, anybody that's been watching the Game Awards, especially for like the past 4 years, something Joseph is the man.
Yeah, he's the show.
He is the show. Like, that first year where he came up there drunk as hell and just grabbed the mic from Jeff and just went on a tirade against Damien, EA, who was publishing his game, by the way, and Hollywood. And ever since then, we've been like, more of that, please.
But think about it.
Waiting for him to go off.
Right. Because, I mean, they're going to spend this next year. Hey, Yusuf came here, showed us his game of the first game that he made. He comes back with a second game and wins Game of the Year 4 years later. Progression story. They're going to spend the shit out of it. Like,
they're using them.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. Yeah. Because really, when I think about it, I'm like, what? That was the feel good. Well, if you've been following on it, that was like the feel good story of the thing. We was watching it because we knew what open bar and Joseph means.
Oh yeah. And if you had never seen it, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. And the fact that like Neil Druckmann was the one on stage and not Jeff Keeler. Like, Jeff, ain't this Game of the Year, man? Why ain't you down there?
Something tell me Jeff's trying to stay away from Yusuf.
He's like, nah, I want it. Like, look. He's like, look, I did a solo with The Last of Us. You go step in front for me.
Right. That man is not trying to hear that.
But yeah, I was actually, I wasn't mad that he won. Because from what I hear, the game is actually amazing.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
I just wish I could finish it.
Yeah.
But I think that's the only problem. I cannot finish the game due to no fault of my own.
Because you have to have a second player.
You
so you don't have an AI control person. You have to have an actual person. Okay.
Yep.
Hey,
that is annoying. That is annoying. Even if it's a great game, that is annoying.
Yeah, because I have to track somebody down. It's like, hey, you want to play? I'm like, I can't. Like, okay,
and then if you find a new person, you got to start over so that they can get acclimated to the whole thing.
Yep.
So,
because it's not something you can just jump into because the game is not. It's not in a consistent way to where you're going to always have something the same way. Literally, you start off in the game to where you have nothing, to where you start having different weapons, to where, like, let's say the dad has the nails, the mom has the hammers. Then that transitions into now you got some type of rockets, and this person has this, and so they're constantly swapping out. And then even if you didn't care and you wanted to just kind of try to figure out the controller in the middle of the game, there's going to be funny parts that you miss. There's one part without spoiling that could actually contend with Conquer as far as squirrels go within that game. It's pretty it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny because it's a yeah, because I mean if you think about the military scene with Conquer's Bad Fur Day, they have something like that within the game with squirrels. It's hilarious.
Oh, I gotta do that. I'm gonna have to drag the missus into it. There's no two ways around that.
I tried to drag my kids in it because they're pretty good at games because they actually beat A Way Out, his first game. They beat that game, but this game requires a lot more timing and for you to really think on your feet. Yeah, definitely patience. I couldn't just walk them through it because I'm like, okay, at this point I'm tired of talking to you. So to kind of keep our relationship, father and son, we're not gonna do this.
This is like, nah, look.
Nah.
People say Mario Kart and Mario Party ruins friendships and families. This is a contender for that title.
Watch some spouses play that game. There are spouses that play the game because there's guys dragging their wives that don't play games into this game, and they're getting frustrated. Like they're like,
I would be guilty of that.
I would do that.
Well, she wants to get in the game, so I mean,
she did say
that. Now, if she want to, then yeah, that's different. But like, if they ain't no,
but she don't. She's not a consistent player of games. She's more.
I wouldn't start off on that. I'd start off on the game that will, cause togetherness and oneness of the heart. Mario Kart 8.
No, not at all.
But let's put a match and a big ball of paper underneath a marriage and see how quickly it burns. That's
all I want you to do. I just want you to game cap so I can laugh. I mean, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for pure entertainment purposes for me.
Well, we do have to start getting our channel together, and I'm figuring we're probably going to start doing some stuff with it next year.
Okay.
If my computer had not fallen apart on me, and I didn't have to resuscitate it after several weeks of fighting with it,
jeez.
probably would have started at the end of this month, but it probably won't be until February.
Okay.
And please understand that was a joke. I was not meaning that for real.
No, see, he meant the part about the comedy, but he doesn't mean the part about fighting and all that.
Yeah. Because Mario Kart is not the game to start on. No.
No Mario Kart, no Mario Party. Now, if we playing stuff like we got Risk and we got Battleship, we got the board games on the Xbox, and we'll play those.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Where she beats my ass at fucking Monopoly all the time because that game is all chance.
Yeah.
Probability is a mug.
And I just had bad luck. It's like the system is just against me. It's like, nah, you ain't winning this.
Right. Hey, that's how I get. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, so what y'all think about Jeff and the 50 world premieres that was really more like 5?
He needs to stop hyping everything up. If they can literally remove world premiere from the majority of those videos and just say it is video game awards premiere, a video game awards trailer.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Take world premiere off of it because you say world premiere, people expect that this is the first time we have seen it.
Yeah. Not the third time. Not the third time, not the fourth time, not they added 5 seconds to this trailer from E3.
Right. He was like world premiere. I'm like, Tunic? Like, we know Tunic already. Like, how's this a world premiere?
And then I went back and watched the E3 trailer. It was basically the same trailer. They just added a couple extra stuff to it. It was like 15 extra seconds of it. I'm like, okay, it's the same trailer. It's the same damn trailer. So all right, whatever, man.
They're pulling the same stuff that freaking Intellivision's been doing with their Amico, where they give you the same trailers and just say it's a different, take it to a different event. Like, nah, come on.
Yeah, for real. It was. Well, I will say the one thing that I did enjoy, Jim Carrey and Ben Schwartz was hilarious.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they definitely were.
That Sonic 2 trailer.
Yeah,
I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
People love to talk about how bad video game movies are. That first Sonic movie is actually not bad.
It's actually good. It's
actually good. I don't know why nobody talks about it. Like, it's actually a good movie. And it's not long. It's well paced, and I'm expecting the same thing from the second one.
The reason nobody talks about it is because it wasn't bad. Because Detective Pikachu doesn't get talked about either.
No, it doesn't.
A bad movie, so nobody talks about it. It's like, no, well, we don't have a reason to complain. I mean, the only complaint that I would probably have about the Sonic 2 movie is that Knuckles is in it. That's probably my only complaint, because it feels like it's too rushed. Because you got Sonic and Tails, but you don't have Amy, and you get Knuckles. That to me is a problem based on the fact that the way the story went in the games.
Right.
Okay. I would like to take this time, Idris Elba. If you're watching this, I didn't say that. Andre did.
I mean, but he's right, because
I ain't talking about Idris Elba. I'm talking about the freaking writers. Look, don't try to get me in the fight with him.
Rufus Buck don't care.
Yeah, Rufus Buck.
Don't try to get me into it. Actually, not. Go ahead, get me in a beef with that man. That might actually spike.
Right, let's fight that channel up. Yeah.
Let's get me in a beef with Idris Elba. Let's get that to happen.
Exactly.
I was thinking about it. I was like, hold on, that would be a good thing for me.
That might work. That might just work.
It might be bad for him though, because he'd be like, "Why are you punching down at this YouTuber that ain't got
right? Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie though. When they showed him in the trailer, though, that was a nice scene. That was a nice scene, dude. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I started getting like flashbacks of his version of Shere Khan in the Jungle Book, where like, because his version of Shere Khan was a straight up gangster. That dude comes to like the water hole and everybody got scared.
Right.
Like, Mowgli, you gave it a name. I'm like, oh, bro. He about to shoot all y'all, and he a tiger. He about to shoot every last one of y'all.
Right. Movies like this, like trailers for Sonic 2, I have to turn my gaming brain off, because I was not expecting to see Knuckles, like, at all. Because I'm trying to look at it from a succession point the same way the game did it. Mm-hmm. But that was my same issue with Mortal Kombat. When I'm talking about the first two, not this last whatever that was, but I went from like
the garbage.
That first one, I'm like, all right, cool. The characters within the first game was in this first movie. Then I'm like, okay, here's the second one. Like, why the hell is Nightwolf here?
They just threw away a bunch of crap. What Stryker wasn't in Mortal Kombat.
Stryker was not in.
Stryker wasn't in the second one, but he was in third.
They killed him off screen.
Yeah,
that's what I was like. Why was he there?
I was watching that as a kid. Watching that as a kid, I'm like,
this doesn't make sense.
This don't add up. Like, there was enough character additions from 1 to 2 in the actual game to make this suffice to only have Mortal Kombat 2 characters in this.
Yeah, they really shouldn't have did what they did. But
that was
Hollywood. That being said, but here's the thing: like, I'm glad it's Knuckles and not Shadow. I'm like, Shadow.
Definitely.
I'm glad it's Knuckles and not Shadow.
Shadow wouldn't make any damn sense right now.
It wouldn't make any sense, because you'd have to. Because I'm still trying to figure out if this one does well and they do keep going, you're gonna have to bring in Shadow at some point. I'm trying to figure out how they do Amy.
That's how they're gonna bring in Shadow, because of Amy. Because he's gonna do something to Amy that's gonna piss Sonic off, and then he's gonna have to go up against Shadow.
Which is not. If they do that, I'm be pissed off, because that's not those characters' dynamics.
No, but it's Hollywood's dynamic. So yeah.
Like
Andre,
Amy
we done watched too much
Sonic
stuff.
fan. She was the crazy Sonic fan that became one of his actual friends.
Right, exactly.
Andre, you don't watch as much stuff as I have. You know how this works.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why That's why I would not want them to reboot The Last Dragon.
No,
because they screw it up.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, there's just some stuff. You know, the Shogun of Harlem.
Yeah.
Yes.
They mess stuff up.
I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you up with a brain twister real quick. I know I've said it before, but Akuma from Street Fighter is just Sho'nuff with a reverse palette. Think about it.
That's true.
I mean, well, he don't have shoulder pads, man. And the Converse.
Oh well,
he needs Converse.
One tiny detail that's missing.
Hey, dude, you need the Converse.
Did Sho'nuff not have them shoes in that movie?
Bro,
yeah, that's true.
Look, you gotta say "kiss my Converse." All right? You gotta make Ryu kiss my Converse.
Yeah.
All right?
I don't
Kiss
know.
my Converse.
Think about it. That would be highly funny to see Akuma actually say that and have him say it in Japanese. It just had a subtitle on the screen. Like,
what the hell?
When did Sho'nuff become black? I mean, when did Akuma become black?
Hey, what's up, Miss K? What's up, Shadow? What's up, Metal Man? How y'all doing? Thanks
Big
for
the
joining.
Cat. Is it just me?
I ain't got no problem with Big the Cat, but look, if we want to include Big the Cat, he gotta be smoking weed. That's the only way to explain his
he has to be the relaxed. He has to be a relaxed character. But for me, as far as any addition, as far as characters go within a series, Sonic's characters make no sense to me. Like, where did they come from? They make no sense.
Listen.
Like a crocodile with a chain on. It's just like
an alligator. Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? Like, where did you come from?
Charmy B, Mighty Armadillo.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Hey, the squirrel.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but I put it in the same vein as they're doing what Mario did. Mario didn't, when they added stuff to Mario, it didn't make a bit of sense either.
No,
but the way that they posed it was like Mushroom Kingdom and then like the Bowser crew. But this one is just like they came out of the clear blue sky.
Clear blue sky, yeah.
Like, all right, like, do you work for Robotnik or Eggman, however you want to call them, or like Sonic just ran into you one day? Did you know tails off the side somewhere? Like, when did you pop up?
A lot of them were planned characters before Sonic 1, and they just never ended up using them for Sonic 1.
Okay.
And then they was like, oh, we got these character designs, let's throw them in there, because Mighty Armadillo was the original design for Sonic.
Yeah, Chaotix was basically the hood of Mobius.
Yes,
yeah. Facts. I mean,
it's the truth.
It's the truth. I mean, that's why I'm like. If the movie does well and they do good enough to get a third one, I'm like, okay, who do you now bring in Shadow and Amy, or do you hold off?
If they're going to do a third movie and they're bringing in Shadow, then they have to do the whole plot from Sonic Adventure 2.
They have to.
They have to.
That would make sense.
But the problem is, if they do that plot so quickly, you know how gamers are. We're gonna be like, "Oh, where did all this other stuff? What happened to Chaos and all this stuff?"
Yeah.
If they bring
well,
Shadow,
actually, you can skip Chaos. You can skip Chaos. You can skip the Chaos stuff.
You could.
I'm okay.
But then you're skipping the E series robots, and that skips past Omega, and everybody likes Omega, so you gotta have the build up to Omega.
Yeah, that's true.
So now, do y'all think we're getting Supersonic this movie or no?
Yes,
I think we are, just
because
the simple fact
at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I think the reason why we're getting it, because they would have never showed that emerald if we weren't getting it.
Right.
They would have never showed.
And you gotta have a way for Sonic to overpower Knuckles, and they clearly showed that Knuckles was more powerful.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you kind of sort of see that in the game too, in a way.
Like Sonic is faster, but Knuckles.
Got them Knuckles.
Yeah.
See, that's why people get annoyed with them now with the new games, because they nerfed the hell out of Knuckles and gave Sonic all these abilities. I'm like, why would y'all nerf Knuckles?
But the true question is Lord Beer's gonna show up when he goes Super Saiyan guy? That's the true question.
Heard there was a hedgehog.
So Weez.
I heard that you were indestructible. Let me see.
Like all he do is run fast. All right, that's about the gist of it.
I mean, technically, Sonic's powers are very much like the Flash. It's just that he doesn't have the speed force, but it's pretty much the same stuff.
And falling into holes can take him out. But
yeah,
I was like, just run across the stage, like yeah, and then like, all right, well, I guess he's not so invincible after all, huh?
and that leads me into Sonic Frontiers.
I'm excited.
I am excited. Why are people hating on it, man? I'm like, first of all,
I can tell you why people hating. I can tell you why.
Go ahead, because we might say the same thing.
Go for it.
It's because of the landscapes. It does not look like Sonic. It looks like the real world, and that is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as long as they ain't trying to holler at no human female, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm good with that. But there is an explanation that was already made by the creators of Sonic, and that's that there are two worlds. There are two Earth-like worlds that they travel between. You have Earth and then Mobius. There are two different worlds, and everybody keeps forgetting that. They said it. Well, it don't make any sense, but they said it, and that's how it
Hey, they say it's facts. They don't make sense, but yeah, there we go.
Because I like it just because, like, I would love to see how they pull off an open world Sonic with mid bosses and stuff like that. With like not mid bosses, but like level bosses, like where you run into them. I would love to see that.
This is making me hope that Sega contracted a couple people from Monolith Soft and like, yeah, we won't have a random boss that just pop up out of nowhere.
But hold on. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because they have worked together before. Yeah, they have worked together before.
On Sonic games or no?
No, they worked
Project Cross Zone and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
they've worked together, so it would not surprise me. I know they pass notes.
Right.
So I mean, and there are some people that's like, oh, this is like Breath of the Wild. I'm like,
everything that's now big, wide open world is not
Breath of the Wild. That's what they're going with.
Like
it was Skyrim before.
If you see a trailer with someone standing up on a hill looking over the fields, it's Breath of the Wild.
It's Breath of the Wild. And
you see somebody on the glider, it's Breath of the Wild.
It's Breath of the Wild.
You see a big boss pop out the ground and you got to shoot arrows at it, it's Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. So, Frontiers, do you think Shadow shows up?
Yes.
No.
I hope
I want him to. I like Shadow.
They need to do more than they need to start. Yeah. They need to not just focus so heavily on stuff.
I think this is a reset. I think this is a reset. In a way,
it could be.
It could. Cause I like their dynamic, their Goku Vegeta dynamic. That's why I like it.
There's Knuckles in there for the Piccolo.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, that's
Tails is Krillin though.
Tails is Krillin and Bulma combined.
Yeah, exactly. Because I like the fact that
they
didn't give Tails these crazy powers.
Yeah,
it used Tails' mind. Okay, let me build this plane. Let me build this robot for me to compete. Because that's my whole thing.
But I do have one theory about the game though, because of the name. It's called Sonic Frontiers.
Right.
And I have the feeling that they only showed one side of how this game works.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a feeling like the thing that everybody's complaining about, not seeing the world as what Sonic's world is. I'm thinking you travel between two different worlds, which would make sense if that's what they're going for.
Yeah, that would actually work. That would actually work though. That would be dope.
It would. Now I have an unpopular opinion. I like the way the game looks, but in theory, I feel like the characters that would work best for this game are the Sonic Boom characters, like their character design. I know a lot of people don't like their character designs. I love the character designs. Like when you think about Knuckles,
the only
I like
one I don't like is Knuckles.
I don't like how dumb he is, but I like how his body shape is, because I mean it kind of goes with his muscle. I don't like the whole doopy, I'm dumb, barbarian type Knuckles.
That was what called for.
But to me, the style of an open world game, you have it to where they kind of have weapons in a way. You know what I'm saying, with the little
grapple
hooks and all that stuff. Like I feel like that fits perfect with this. But I mean, as far as fighting and what Sonic does fight, at least when you come down to, I hate to use it, Zelda, there's different weapons you can utilize. With Sonic is spin dashes, jumping on heads, speed. Like, what exactly are we going to use here?
Well, all the stuff that he's done in the adventure games. Like just
you could do that. Yeah,
because you could theoretically make bosses around all of his moves from all of the 3D Sonic games. And like you could make a mountain-sized boss, like the one that was in Sonic 2, not Sonic 2, Sonic Adventure 2, the egg robot that was in the pyramid.
Right.
Like you could make a boss that's that big that he has to scale the whole body to get to the head.
Which I wouldn't mind, considering the fact that now this is open world. I don't have to worry about falling off a screen or clipping into anything. But hopefully everything works
Sega's gonna find a way to make that
happen. Because that was my only issue with Sonic games. It's like, cool, we have speed, but if he's so fast that the game can't keep up, we got a problem.
That's always been a problem.
Actually, the one game that didn't happen was Lost World. Lost World that didn't happen in.
That is true.
Yeah, because he was slowed down enough.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why people didn't like. I love Lost World, man. That was like
because it was on the Wii U.
It was because even on Steam, people don't like it. And it's because people did not realize there was a damn run button.
Yeah, they didn't realize.
Everybody's complaint was that Sonic was too slow.
But there's a run button.
Literal run button to speed him up.
To make the game tells you about that though.
Yeah, it tells you. Yeah.
How many people besides David Jaffe messed up on the fact that he called in Metroid Dread? The game can tell you everything if you don't pay attention. That's
true. That's true. I give you that kudos on that. Yeah.
And so that Sonic was the highlight of the show for me. Both the Sonic trailer and Frontiers trailer. I did like that. I did not care for the Matrix stuff. I didn't care for it. Number one, I'm gonna watch the movie, but well, it's on HBO Max. I ain't going to the theater for that. I'm not going to the theater for that.
I don't blame you.
Because it looks like a soft reboot to me. And I'm just like,
exactly.
The trailers y'all shown make it look like y'all doing like some stuff look like scene for scene from the first one. I don't like that. I don't like that. So I didn't care for that. I did not look at that that Matrix Awakens thing that they did. I don't really care
about
for that.
The free download.
Yeah,
I didn't pay any attention either.
Yeah, because I still have PTSD from Enter the Matrix and Path to Neo. So I'm just not. I wasn't too much caring for that. I don't get me wrong. I like Keanu Reeves. I like I can't remember her name, but the lady that plays Carrie-Anne Moss. I like both of them, but I don't know what it is. I just don't care for Matrix like that.
Me either.
It's been so long, and they haven't really done anything with the franchise. I could see why a lot of people wouldn't give a damn right now.
And then on top of that, I'm like, the way the third one ended, like, okay, it ended on the ceasefire, but both of them died outside the Matrix. So how can you actually
bring them back?
They're dead outside. It would be different if they died inside. They died outside. Their real bodies died.
Yep.
And I went back and watched just to make sure I wasn't crazy. So this is gonna be interesting how y'all retcon this. But
hey, they'll find a way.
Unless they're gonna no, but you know what they're gonna pull? They're gonna pull some stuff to say that they cloned them right before their deaths. They cloned their minds into the Matrix. That's how they're gonna do it.
I thought you were gonna say sensu beans because that actually makes more sense. But okay.
That's copyright infringement.
Hey, yeah, good point. They bit off the Piccolo 17 fight in the third movie.
Again,
really?
Yes, they did.
That whole first at the end of the movie when Neo and Agent Smith, when they do the rundown, the thing, that entire 5-minute sequence is Dragon Ball Z.
Damn. All
right. Piccolo versus 17.
Wow.
Episode 133.
You can copy fight choreography because you can always add tweaks to it, but you can't outright just copy sensu beans from.
Look,
and name them sensu beans on top of that.
No, they're gonna call them Zion. No. Here's the name: Zion Seeds.
Yeah, Zion Seeds. Yeah. Look,
gotcha.
Keanu Reeves was Piccolo. Agent Smith was 17. You ain't gonna sit there and tell me that was not the same exact fight.
I gotta see that now because I didn't even watch the third one.
You gotta watch them both back to back. You'll see the similarities.
Yeah,
I mean, the Piccolo 17 fight is burned in my head, so I know that like
it's
scene
burned
for
in
scene.
it's burned in like every
That
Dragon
was
Ball
one of the
fan's
best
head.
fights in Dragon Ball.
One of the best fights.
That's one of the best fights in anime. Period.
I was like, Piccolo is back in form, and then they just kind of throw him away. I said,
to the
son of a
side.
bitches.
It's like, look, we're gonna give you one last good fight. One last good
So disgusting.
We're gonna cast you off into the dust.
So disgusting.
Well, technically, the Cell Saga was supposed to have been the end of the series. So
yeah, that is true. That is true.
So technically,
it was the final hurrah.
It was supposed to be. It was supposed to have been the final hurrah. But yeah.
But he still got cast off before the end of it.
That is true.
Well, everybody did. Everybody
That's what
did.
I said.
Yeah.
It was like that was actually Krilla's last big moment too when he actually fought Cell.
Yeah. I'm like, they pretty much everybody got their chance, even Yamcha for all of 2 seconds.
That's still kind of weird.
How seconds team got his moment against Cell holding back.
Yep.
Yeah, and he did that for a minute too.
Yeah.
Like a few episodes to where, as a kid watching that on TV, they kind of pissed me off. But it's like, like, bro, if y'all don't hurry up, just bow, bow, bow.
Like, but my
episode
thing is,
2, bow, bow.
My thing is though, like Tien, why didn't you do that before he swallowed 17? You might have actually
he was
killed
there.
him.
Yeah, he was there.
You might have actually killed, like, if, or you know. Let's just think back to that fight when the androids whooped everybody's behind. Pull this out, man. If I was a character in that universe, and that'd be like, you hold on. You mean to tell me this motherfucker he transformed? You held him down for a solid minute and a half.
Yep, so did.
I would have said taste out his mouth.
You nearly died. I'll give you that much. But you held him back for a solid minute and a half with this move. And you didn't think earlier to do this against everybody else when we could have used it actually.
I would have said the taste out his mouth. I would
have punched him in his nuts and then stomped on his neck.
And flicked him in his third eye. Bastard.
I'd have been real petty with it.
Yeah.
But I'd have smacked the hell out of Chaozu too. It was like, you knew about this.
Oh, dude.
Gotta love the Dragon Ball references. But okay, so moving along in the night, because this is around what, hour 2?
Yeah, like, something like that. Yeah.
They really need to shorten this show. It should not be no daggone 4 or 5 hours.
I feel like they stretch it for some reason. There has to be a reason why they have this going so long.
Well, so it's supposed to start at 8, but they really started at 7:30.
Right.
So they went to I think like 11:15, which wasn't bad because if y'all remember last year, it went to like damn near 12:30.
Yeah.
And that was just okay, dude. That's ridiculous. But they did a better job of telling people like, look, y'all can't just ramble. Y'all gotta y'all gotta say what y'all gonna say and get off stage. Right. But look, I don't care for the musical interludes. I don't care. But I do agree with some people like they should be game related at least, and there are enough like because a couple years ago they got Lindsey Sterling, smart, but you need to do stuff like that. Like, I understand getting Imagine Dragons, that's cool, but I probably wouldn't have got Sting and Imagine Dragons. I probably would just get one. I probably would have got Imagine Dragons because Sting, it's gonna cost some money to get Sting.
That's enough. You know what I mean? For people to get the attention, you got like News Weekly, like, oh, Sting was at the Game Awards, like, for real? Yeah. Like, okay, that's gonna get people's attention.
And then you get like everybody else. That's when you go and get you want to show content creators love, right? There are a lot of YouTube and sound and YouTube and Twitch rappers and singers and stuff like that. You can get them that actually do video game related content and anime content. You can just have them do it. You ain't gonna have to pay as much.
Nah. And then you get them some recognition and it's a whole thing, you know?
So that's probably one of the things I would change. But yeah, I don't think it needs to be no 3 hours. I just don't think it needs to be that. Once again, all these world premieres that ain't really world premieres.
World premiere.
I'm like, nah, dude, like just you don't have to have all that. Me personally, I make sure like the big 3 show something. I make sure that if they have something like Activision, Microsoft, Activision, EA, Ubisoft, I'll make sure they show something.
Yeah.
And that'll probably be about it. Now I'll have a section for the indie people if they have some stuff coming in, but that'll probably be like either a very good sizzle reel or it'll have to be something that don't take as much time.
Right. Like I feel like to me, the only gripe I really take with it other than the time is the categories. Like the you have your common categories for each genre, of course. But I don't even remember seeing because they took away shooters. First person shooters, that's gone. There is no indie category.
There isn't an RPG category either.
There's no RPG category. There's so many other things they can do. Now, kudos to esports because that's part of gaming. And like you said, there's things you can do at the pre-show. Then you got stuff you can do in the show. But there's so many genres that get overlooked, which means in turn good games get overlooked. I mean, this is not a true game show to me. No. Like this is just let's look at shit you're already looking at, and then let's just emphasize it even more that it's a great game. I need this to showcase more of games that we don't look at, that we don't pay attention to, that gets overlooked because somebody didn't like the Metacritic score.
Yeah,
that's where I feel like this would strive.
Well, I said this. I've said this for like the past 2 years. They need to set a consistent category space, and they stick to it.
Right. Yeah.
Period. And stop changing it every year. They change it every year. The categories we got this year were not the same ones from last year.
No,
I promise you that. The only one that was the same one from last year is Game of the Year.
You got the esports ones, and I think action adventure.
Yeah,
there was a handful.
Hold on. I think like a year before last, action adventure wasn't there.
It wasn't there. No.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like there needs to be a consistent. Like, okay, we got. In a perfect world, it would be this: get your game of the year, your overall game of the year. Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony have their own game of the year categories.
Oh, that's smart. I never thought about that. Like having their own individual
RPG. You have sports. You have RPG, sports, first person shooter. You have now, there are gonna be some years where we're probably not gonna have that many. And if you don't have any, then guess what?
Yeah,
they just ain't there that year.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be able to do a sports one though.
Yeah,
that one you're not gonna be able to do.
I mean, well, it depends on if like they bring back like the SSX Tricky and the stuff like that. If they bring those back, like you can do that because like racing, for instance, racing, you would have Forza. Cruising, because Cruising Blast did come out. You could have Grid, Gran Turismo. You have
Dirt,
some, you have some that you could put in there, and you could just add some of those indie ones in there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a category, add them in there, but there needs to be like if you have a genre, have a category for that genre. Now, if there's only like 2 games that came out in that genre for the year, I understand that you just ain't gonna have it. Right. Yeah, and that'll just make your show shorter.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it needs to be consistent categories, like some that just stay.
Right.
Like, you're gonna have them every year, unless there literally is only 1 or 2 games in it, and that's it.
Right.
Like, I don't understand why it's that hard for them to do that. But I think the problem is it's probably some pandering going on, so they can get money, and that's probably that's what I'm saying. Like, if you do it, like say, okay, look, we'll have overall game of the year. We're gonna have Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony have their game of the year. We'll have a PC game of the year.
Right.
You just took care of that. You just took care of that right there.
Yeah.
So now you're not pandering.
And 5 categories, real.
Yeah, and Microsoft and Sony, if y'all don't have nothing, guess what? We're gonna throw some third-party games in there. So
yeah, exactly.
That's it. Like we'll do it like that. I mean, just have some consistency about it and stick to it. And stop changing it. Exactly. Once you get your format down, it shouldn't take. To be honest, the Game Awards shouldn't last no more than 3 hours.
I wouldn't even say longer than that. I say about 2.
I say between 2.5 to 3 because you gotta have you gotta have to have your pre-show.
Right.
So I say 2.5
pre-show. Yes.
If you count the pre-show, 2.5 hours to 3 hours, tops.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. So, and like I said, some of those stuff can be done off screen. When you watch the Grammys or you watch the AMAs or you watch the Emmys, they don't show everything on there. They do some earlier in the day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because those award shows actually last all day.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, they actually last all day. They just like they don't show you the stuff that happened early in the afternoon.
Nope.
Oh yeah, because you got photo props and all the other stuff that go on. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. So what they'll do during the show, though, they'll say, okay, look at this. These are the ones that won this afternoon, and they just list them off.
Right.
And then that's during the little interlude of the show. And then they're back to the show. So every award show does that, and they need to do. They kind of try to do that here.
They do it. They're disorganized about it. That's their big problem.
Yeah.
So
like even their side categories are as disorganized as their main categories. This is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and once again, I understand he has an advisory board and all that stuff, but you might want to
change it.
You might want to change
them
that.
out.
Yeah.
I got two really big gripes with the Game Awards. One, that they could have a third party, because they could have a third party board for deciding on the games for the categories, and for dang it, I had the thought. I'll get back to the second thought, but the first one I'm going to focus on. They can do a third party advisory board or hire on people to be the advisory board and not include anyone that has any games that will be voted on. Do not allow them to be part of the board, because that causes a conflict of interest. You cannot have the people who would get a benefit from the games getting any awards be the ones to decide on the games that are going to be in the vote and to vote on it, and their vote count the most. That's stupid as hell.
Right.
So the advisory board should be able to decide on the games that are there, and the fan vote should be the heavier thing that's heavier to pick with. Yeah, that should be more important than the advisory votes. The advisory votes should come in if there are any ties or anything of that nature.
Yes, I'll give you that. Yeah. The problem with Jeff Keighley is he already screwed that up by giving people awards that he likes. Like he gave Greg Miller that award that year, and I'm like, Greg Miller did nothing to deserve that. Hideo Kojima, like, look, dude, no.
I'm all for him giving him an award because he has to go home and hear that. So go ahead and let that man have a nice, peaceful home life. So we can go ahead and let him have that one.
Yeah. But the reason why it made me mad last year was because I'm like, he had Death Stranding out, and he's actually on the board. And when people called Jeff out on it, he got mad and was like, "Well, they won Game of the Year at the Players Awards. I don't see y'all complaining about that." I'm like, he wasn't on the board. I'm like, he wasn't on the board, idiot. Like, nobody was mad that his game won Game of the Year. They were mad that he was on the board. That's a conflict of interest. Yeah, exactly. It's a conflict of interest. And he pretended like he didn't understand that. I'm like, dude, you're not stupid. You're not stupid. So why you acting like you don't?
Stupid, at least.
Yeah, why you acting like you don't? And like you know exactly why people were upset. That was not right. It was a conflict. It was a clear conflict of interest, and then you destroyed the credibility of your own show that you love to brag about. That is yours.
Right.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Okay. I remembered what the second thing was. Y'all got content creator of the year, but you do not use actual YouTube content creators to run the show.
Exactly.
You get celebrities and people that will be extremely expensive for no reason, when they and a lot of them don't even give a damn about any of this. Yeah. So why are you using them instead of people that the fans of gaming actually recognize in the gaming space and geek culture? Why not use those people? One, you'd be promoting them, that could boost their group, them up a bit, and on top of that, they'd be cheaper to use. And as well as that, they wouldn't be as awkward about the subjects because they actually know about it.
But
don't ever again bring Vin Diesel's fucking half talking ass on a goddamn stage thing, because I will run up and missile drop kick him in the back of his bald ass head myself.
It's all about family. It's all about family. It's all about family.
As much as I've liked Vin Diesel over the years, he is annoying to listen talk.
Yeah,
he really is.
He is so annoying to hear him talk. When you know he doesn't know about something and he just drags his words on, it's no.
And that mumbling don't help either.
I'm about to say something like mumble rap. That's all it is.
But I think the other thing too, the thing with that too, you thought he would have learned his lesson back in 2014 with Joel McHale.
Nah.
Everybody just liked having him on there.
Like you thought, because he was straight up, like he was just straight up talking down on the entire geek culture and gaming culture. That went on for the entirety of the show. And you're like,
he thought it was funny.
Yeah, and I'm like, that shit ain't funny, bro. Like
the weird thing is, outside of this, Joe McHale is actually pretty decent. But it's just like this is probably like one thing where he just doesn't mess it up.
Yeah, but the thing was, it stopped being, and you could tell like Jeff was getting tired of it because it stopped being, it wasn't funny, and he couldn't hide it anymore. Like he's like, yeah, because you screwed up by getting him. You just screwed up by getting him. You shouldn't have got him. I mean, you know what kind of humor this man does.
Yeah.
Why would you bring him to co-host?
His humor just did not work with what he was trying to do.
Yeah. Right. So, like I said, I agree with you on that, Andre, because you would think he would have learned his lesson with that, but apparently he didn't.
If I was going to pay any celebrity to come to the Game Awards, I'm looking at Kenny Omega. I'm looking at Snoop Dogg. I am not
Xavier
Woods.
As much as I have an issue with like Xavier Woods, I would bring him.
I would bring him. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Like I don't agree with some of the antics he does, but
because doesn't he have his own gaming channel?
Yeah, well, kind of, but that's a whole bag of worms around that. But I would bring him, like you said, Kenny Omega, hell, Adam Cole.
Yeah,
like you could get those guys because they game. They are actual gamers. So I don't know why he wouldn't reach out to them. And it's not like they wouldn't show up.
And the thing is, I think, especially Kenny Omega, we know he would go there.
Oh yeah, he would show up for sure. Yeah. And then we probably get a preview of the game, and then I mean you have advertisement in that regard because they could be talking about it all throughout AEW. So I mean, it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. You would think it would be easier to do, but I don't know. I just don't know why. I don't know why he don't think about it, but whatever, man. It is what it is. Overall, like I said before, after we got done watching it, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I was just indifferent.
It's an award show.
It's an award show. I was just indifferent. I mean,
that's
yeah. It is what it is. I mean,
I like it because it gave me a discount on games. Because, like I said, I missed my discount on. Yeah, I mean, so to me, I don't ever take stuff like this serious because I mean, it does nothing for me. I just don't like the fact that it doesn't shine light on games that do not get recognition otherwise. Yeah. You have a platform right now to where you can get media out the way. You can get content creators out the way and say, hey, we all voted and we all decided that this game needs some attention. So let's do that. And they don't ever do it.
That would be a good part of the video game awards alongside giving out the awards. Talk about little known games from smaller studios, like the game that the transsexual developers came out with, which was actually a really good game. I can't remember the name of it, but it's on I know it's on I'm looking it up right now. It's on Game Pass. I just can't remember the name of it right off the bat. But it was actually a pretty good game. I'll see it in a moment.
Yeah, because I was saying, I mean, they talk about like the smaller developers when it's all day out the country type ordeal, but it's like, okay, you got smaller developers that really do have some great games out there. It's just they get overlooked because they come out at either piss poor times or, it's just one of those things of because my content creator didn't talk about it, I'm not going to pay it any attention. Yeah. Because even when you talk about the game, what was it, Chorus that we were looking at, that spaceship game? Yeah. The simple fact that game came out December 3rd, that was my first time hearing about that game.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it got great reviews. And I'm like, so why is no one talking about this game?
I honestly didn't even know Chorus came out because all I remember was hearing that it was, I think, early in January or something that it was coming out. And then it was just there.
Well, we got something. I want to say we got something last year, but due to, the pandemic, it was one of those games that got pushed back.
Yeah.
And we heard, like you said, we heard about it in January, but it wasn't at E3 and it wasn't at TGS. So
Right.
I completely forgot about it. So it wasn't like, that's the one thing I don't understand. Like No Man's Sky was like every freaking every conference, everything, and they showed the same trailer over and over and over again. But like certain games, you hear them once or twice, and you don't hear about them again until they come out.
Yeah,
which is sad.
That's why I like the smaller content creators that pay attention to the games that need to be paid attention to. Because honestly, we have heard jack squat about Shin Megami Tensei 5 since its release, but there's a lot of content creators out here going to bat for that game.
Yeah,
but media is not saying a damn thing about it.
Yeah, well, they want it to be bad, and it's not bad. It's actually good. Nope. So they want it to be bad, but it's not bad. I mean,
right.
And they got some weird. I ain't gonna lie, they do got some weird looking demons and
weird sounding demons. Because somebody was playing on Twitter the other day. I was like,
bro, like there's one that keeps getting shown. I'm like, how did this pass the censors? I think y'all know which one I'm talking about.
But it's a demon though. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's a demon. But I'm like, okay, I know where the inspiration for that came from.
Oh yeah, you can see it all day.
Yeah. So, it's. But yeah, it's one of those situations where you're like, okay, is it one of those? Well, you know what? Now that I think about it, they probably do need to have something where they do give like the indie side a little more shine at the Game Awards, because they really didn't do that this year at all.
They really didn't. No,
they didn't at all.
Now that I think about it, so yeah, you would need to have a indie category and an actual, give them some actual time.
And then have subcategories for those indies. Like we got action adventure, we got RPGs and stuff like that. The indie got those too.
Yeah, he got those too.
Yeah, they do.
And let them have a sizzle reel or two.
Yeah. Man, hell, Nintendo did it. But I was like, indie world. I'm like, okay, all right.
I mean, that's, to be fair, that's how we found out about the Ride Forge stuff. Mm-hmm. Nintendo did the direct for them. They did the freaking Ride Forge. That's how they did their direct. It came out on Nintendo first.
Right.
Like, that's the only reason why we knew about Ruin King and Hextech.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they were shadow drops, which I'm like, I hate shadow drops like that.
I hate them.
Because yes, I went
for it.
I'm like, oh yeah. Just so y'all know, did y'all enjoy this? Y'all enjoyed this presentation today? Go on eShop. They're up there right now. Yeah, we don't even care. Just go on. Yeah, we just released it. Wait, what? Yeah, y'all can go buy it right now. No trailer, no nothing. Oh yeah, the trailer drop tomorrow sometime. But the game's out now. When did they do the Metroid? When did they do the Metroid Dread demo? 2 weeks after the game released.
2 weeks after the game.
Okay.
It's like we're using this as a tool to make sure you want to jump in.
Right. Yeah, okay, all right.
I mean, that's why I would give kudos to at least Ouya. I'll give them kudos to where every game required a demo. Yeah, I feel like all games should at least require a demo.
At least. Unless it's something like the Uno games, like you already know what Uno is.
Yeah, I mean, you already know what that is.
Yeah, you already know what that is. But like most of these other games, they should have a demo, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, especially if it's a franchise that is brand new. Like when it comes down to a Zelda game, a Mario game, a God of War, something like that, I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah, you already know. Unless they're doing something. Yeah, unless they're doing something ridiculous, crazy with the engine or something like that. Then I can see doing a demo. But yeah, other than that, I already know what this is. It's like doing a demo for Smash Brothers. Why?
What's the point?
Yeah. All I'm gonna do is get mad that you ain't let me play as my favorite character in the demo.
Now, as a kid, it's fantastic because, like I tell anybody, I used to play the hell out of those PlayStation demo discs because I couldn't.
Everybody did.
I ran through that crash one level so damn many times. It's just.
Well, I remember when Sega gave out the Sonic Adventure demo with the first one with was it NFL 2K?
Yeah.
On that disc too. Yeah, dude. I played them. I played them till I scratched the disc.
Yeah.
I wore that disc out.
I miss those days, man. Because I mean, it was days to where it's like, okay, it's a mixture between I can't make it to Blockbuster, or either everybody that's an adult made it to Blockbuster before my grandfather would take me, so I was out of luck anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was, and then that's when I start slowly seeing the implementation of credit cards. So my grandfather was like, "Why do you need my credit card?" She was like, "Because sometimes games don't come back, and we need to find a way to get our money back." Like, oh, okay, makes sense.
Because people would rent the game, like people would rent the game before they move, and not bring it back.
Yep. You have no way of getting in contact with them.
None at all, boy. The stuff we used to do, boy.
I would have found that game, but my hard drive being pretty much wiped took everything off, so I can't even find it anymore because it would have been in my list.
Oh well, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, overall, hey, it's Game Awards, so we'll be doing it again next year.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure,
roasting everything.
Yeah, pretty much for a good 3.5 to 4 hours.
Now, with the other award shows, like I know there's other ones. Do they televise those? Well, not televised, but do they show those online at all or no?
Paris did this year. No. Yeah, the Paris Game Awards they did this year. But now those don't even last long. Those like the Paris one was 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
It was straight and to the point.
What about the Tokyo Game Show that everybody's always talking about?
No. The only way you do that is if somebody like there was one year where Sony showed it, but that's because they were like showing a whole bunch of stuff. So
that's not happening again.
It just depends. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, because that'd be interesting to see those and see how they handle it. To kind of give some type of reference point. Because I mean, I understand throughout time things do get better. That's why I've never knocked the Game Awards so hard, because it's technically in its infancy still. You know what I mean? So I mean, you got, like you said, you mentioned like the Grammys and the AMAs and all that other stuff. They've been around for years. Yeah,
they've been around 50 plus years.
Yeah, so they've had time to mature. So I mean, when you look at Jeff and all these other game awards and things of that nature, hopefully he does take positive criticism.
He don't
and try to fix it in a way. Because I mean, that's where the problem's going to come in. But I mean, like I said, I do understand from his side of things to where people just go hard on him up front. And even like what this one girl, which I think he did a great comeback. She was like, "Well, hopefully Jeff can show up at my funeral so he can let me know." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be there." Like,
why would you even say that? Why would you even say that to somebody? That's the like. Sometimes I really think like people say stuff like that just so they can try to get a response and go viral.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
Yeah, so I'm like, because that's not something to say to somebody. I wish he could take criticism, but he can't. He one of the people that can't.
Biggest flaw.
Yeah, he can't take criticism. Because I remember when people just tell him, like, ask him normal questions, he'd get an attitude about it. They wouldn't say nothing disrespectful or nothing like that, but he'd actually have an attitude about it. And you're like, dude, nobody's being disrespectful to you, so you need to learn how to control your emotions or something. Wow. But I've seen him do that on 3 different occasions. Okay. Where somebody would ask him like a normal, like just a question that would be on most people's minds, and he would be snippy about it.
Oh wow.
I'm like, okay, dude, like people can uppercut your ass, you know that, right?
Knock you into the stratosphere.
Like, you ain't that,
you ain't that guy.
Yeah, you ain't that. Ain't nobody. You ain't no 6'5" Samoan. So you might want to check your doggone attitude and your tone. But
off the record, seeing those guys in person, that's enough to make you piss yourself.
Yeah,
I've seen a few 6'5" Samoans in my day.
Look, I'll put it like this right here. I have never seen a small Samoan.
No. I've seen one, and it was a female Samoan.
I've never.
Yeah, that's the only exception to the rule.
I've never seen that.
I have,
because at Georgia Southern there was a few that was there, and all of them was over 6 feet. I'm like, God dang! I'm like, I'm short, but I'll get some platform shoes, girl.
Hey. And then most of them stocky too, like, bro. Yeah, you win every argument with that. I'm not fighting with you at all. I'm sorry. I'm not throwing hands with you because I'll lose. But it's not even a male versus female thing. Nah, she got me beat 9 times out of 10, homeboy. I like
that's genetics, son. That is genetics.
Exactly. And then if I was to win, she got family. I'm not playing that game.
No.
And they crazy.
The Rock and Roman Reigns show up at your door.
When I tell you, The Rock is The Rock is the most subtle side of things. Yeah. I tell people like go to Alaska and Hawaii to where they have the Samoan thugs.
Yeah,
that's a whole
nother.
Bro, I almost freaked out. I was real quick at the time. Me and my ex-wife, we were at this place getting some ice cream, and there's some big Samoan guy sitting down behind me, and he was like, "Hey." Turn around. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I don't know what I did. I don't know what happened. Whatever he said I did, and we just gonna go with that. So he was like, hey, that neck tattoo hurt? And I was like, a little bit. Why? He was like, because I was thinking about getting one across the front. I was like, that's totally different, sir. But if you think that's the same type of pain, then you right. On my side and you're right.
I was just like, right here is a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah, you got your Adam's apple and everything, but you said you're right. It's the same.
But I ain't gonna argue with you.
Nah, I have no problems. Anybody can say I'm less than a man if you want to. I have no problem living. You hear me?
Yeah,
I like my face. I have no problem ducking and dodging the ass whooping. I have no problem.
I like my face not being caved in. So yeah, I'm good. I don't need to get rock bottom through no table. I'm good.
Not at all. With them big meaty hands? No.
Nope.
No.
The only thing I would say
choke slam you straight through the concrete.
Yeah. Like, look, man. Like the devil is a lie. I ain't finished trying to fight
sir.
You.
You said you want my wife too? Go home. Go with him.
I'm being agreeable, so yeah.
Like,
hella agreeable.
Like, look, I'm not fighting you, Debo. I'm sorry.
Nah, that's not happening at all.
Nah. Nope, no way.
I'm looking at this chorus gameplay though. This looks amazing.
It does.
We don't get enough of those actually.
Not at all, because I've been looking for dogfighters for a minute, especially on my VR. Like they have a few dogfighters on VR, but not anything crazy. Enough to not make you sick. Because some dogfighters on there, you'll throw up in about 2 seconds. But
yeah. Afterburner. That's the one that need to bring back.
Yeah. I heard somebody talking about that the other day.
Just don't have me land. Please, God, don't have me land.
You think Sony will ever bring back Warhawk?
They should if they want to make some money. I mean, there's a few games that you could bring back, especially since like Top Gun's supposed to come out next year.
Really?
You would think they would have like some dogfighters come out. You would think.
I think
really it would nothing.
I think the appeal for dogfighters, they'll have to take it the Horizon route, because I mean, you have those that love motorsport, but then you have those that love Horizon because of its arcadey nature, and then with this particular game, they went outside of the realm of just racing. You have so many things, even those side quests that you have to do. It's just a good game that keeps your attention. So I mean, they would kind of have to go that route with dogfighting, but I think also too, they would have to come down on the price on some of these damn flight sticks, because some of these flight sticks are ridiculous.
Yeah. The last time I bought a flight stick was for Hawks on 360, and that one was reasonable. Right. And it did help. It like sometimes they don't help.
Right.
Like
right.
The control is just better, but that one in that situation, that I needed the actual stick for that.
Right.
There are a few of them, but they need to stay arcadey in nature. I would not want to play a fighter simulation. No, right. I need some arcadiness. Like the last good one I played was on 3DS. It was the Ace Combat one.
Okay.
Where you and they actually had an amiibo functionality where you like use different amiibo would give you different fighter jets in the color of the amiibo you use. So I think Link was like a F-14. I think Bowser was a MiG. I'm like, okay, like this is I like how they did that. So that was like the last one that I played. But I would love to have one of those, but there's a lot of games I would love to see come back, like Altered Beast, stuff like that. I just don't know how you would do those. I'll probably just go 2.5D, but
give me
that's just
time.
me.
I'll do it. Give me time. Look, I gotta make content for my channel anyway because of the unintended hiatus.
Yeah,
Hey,
the unintended break that you had to take. But all right, people, that's gonna do it for this episode. Leave a comment. Let us know what you guys thought about the Game Awards. If you watched it, or if you did not.
If you'd like to see me drop kick Vin Diesel in the back of his head.
I'm always with that.
Yep. Yeah.
Always.
I mean, hopefully that'll straighten out his voice.
That'll never happen.
Yeah.
Never.
But all right, Jack. Anything you want to pimp out?
No, not really, man. Like I said, just trying to finish up all these games that I had no business buying. Other than that, that's one thing I hate about sales. Like they're fantastic, but you just buy shit you don't need, and that's what ends up happening.
Yeah.
Just holding on to a bunch of stuff.
I can agree with that. Andre, anything you want to pimp out?
Not yet. I'm just trying to get everything together. I got a slew of stuff I got to upload, and I got to make some videos. I'm reinstalling software, so I'm busy getting everything straight and getting all my stuff recalibrated.
Right.
Before I do anything.
All right. So, me, I did have a fresh take with Vicky this morning for Hawkeye episode 4. Please check that out. I do have some gameplay of the first hour of Halo Infinite going on the channel sometime, hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully, all things considered. We will be back next Sunday, but the following Sunday, the 26th, and the
Was that the Sunday
second, the 26th of December and January 2nd, we will be off for Christmas and the New Year. So we will have an episode next Sunday. Probably just do a year in review type situation.
Okay.
Because there ain't nothing else coming out, right? I ain't seen nothing
to my
else
knowledge.
Yeah.
So Nintendo, please don't just drop nothing out of the blue.
Yeah.
They known for that.
Yeah,
they known for that.
Yeah. So, but what we'll do is just do like a year review next week, and then we'll have 2 weeks off, and then we'll see y'all back in the new year. So, thank you for watching. Thank you chat for stopping by. Shadow Fox, Miss K, Middle Mint. Thank you guys for always showing love. We appreciate you and all of that other good stuff. Miss K, we got to get you on the show one week.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
We'll figure out when, though. We will figure out when, and I'll hit you up. Other than that, we will see you guys next week. So peace out. As always, thank you. Like, share, subscribe, and all the other good stuff. And we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace, everybody.